Hello and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. This is Season 2. I am Bludgeon, coming to you with another Division A matchup. Tonight's match is a battle between Team Sinix, who is currently sitting in first place in Division A, and Illusion Esports, currently sitting down in 8th place. A very interesting matchup because everyone is trying to make it into the top 8 teams in order to make playoffs. Illusion currently sitting in position to make the playoffs. A win here could definitely help them stay in position for that. Team Sinix currently undefeated in Season 2. They are looking at a 7-0-0 record. 7 match wins, that's 2-0 victories. So they're sitting at 21 points in the league right now. Illusion Esports with a 2-2-3 record. So that's 2 2-0s, 2 1-1s, and 3 0-2s. They're currently sitting on 8 points. A 2-0 victory is worth 3 points. A tie or a 1-1 is worth a single point, and obviously no points for a loss. First map here is Battlefield of Eternity. That was selected by Team Sinix. The map bans. Team Sinix banned Tomb of the Spider Queen. Illusion Esports banned Cursed Hollow. And Battlefield of Eternity will be our first map for this game. Sky Temple will be map number 2. We see that Abathur has been banned first off the bat by Illusion Esports. Interesting, as today we did have a patch. Abathur, one of the heroes who had a couple of changes in today's balance patch. The cooldown on Ultimate Evolution has been increased from 50 seconds to 70 seconds. So definitely a nerf to Abathur's team fight presence for that ultimate ability. However, he did receive a small buff as far as the spiky damage, so obviously still a hero to be feared. ETC being Sinix's first ban. ETC is a hero that's seeing a lot of action in the early bans and picks for quite some time now. Very strong tank, really strong front line, a lot of disruption capabilities with power slide, very rough team fight control ability if he decides to go mosh pit, and on the other hand, the option of taking a global ability in stage dive. So ETC off the board, and we see a Vala first pick from Illusion Esports. I cannot say I'm too surprised by that. Illusion is a team that tends to play Vala when they can. Looking now for the first picks to come out of Sinix's lineup to get a sense for how they're going to decide to put their team together. It should be noted that Team Sinix is playing with one of their subs today, Silver, stepping in as unfortunately their main ranged flex player is not able to make it for the match today. So a bit of a last minute thing. We'll see how Sinix adapts to that and whether Illusion can perhaps take advantage of this maybe slight vulnerability in the so far undefeated Team Sinix. It would be nice for Illusion to be able to crack that armor and put a win on the board for themselves and a defeat on the board for Sinix, as we see Greymane and Rhaegar, first 2 picks for Sinix. Very popular heroes. No shock to see those picked up. Rhaegar being one of the most favored supports at the moment. Combines a lot of strengths. Very decent AoE healing with that chain heal, which has recently been changed so that each bounce of the chain heal heals for an equal amount. And also has extreme burst healing with the ultimate ancestral healing. So those 2 strengths, as well as still, I believe, having cleanse, which is something that not many supports still have. Greymane, just a great all-around damage dealer. You want to kill people? Greymane is your man. The clock ticks down, and we see Zarya and Arthas picked up for Illusion. Again, Zarya is something that I've seen Illusion pick up before. They're a team that likes to pick a Vala and then support the heck out of it. So whether it's a double support or a Zarya pseudo support along with another one, would not be surprised to see an Oriole picked up if that does not get banned or picked away from them. Arthas being their front line. Arthas, a hero that's been seeing a lot of play as well. Very disruptive, and just kind of a cool dude. I mean, this is a guy who has death ice powers. You know, if I'm going to choose between fighting against a rock and roll guy, a rock and roll cow, or, you know, an undead, all-powerful ice dragon commander, I would think Arthas would be the way to go. And it seems that Illusion agrees with me. However, they did not have the option to take the rock and roll cow, so who knows if they would have, if they could have. Medic, Lieutenant Morales, banned out by Team Sinix. This is a hero who also saw some changes in today's patch. Too many to go over. Probably slight nerfs to health and health regen, some nerfs to some talents, a couple of buffs to some other talents. Hard to say how that's all going to shake out, but we will not find out in this game. I think I'm going to turn up the music a little bit here. Let's get a little bit more music. Make things a bit more interesting. All right. Johanna banned out against Team Sinix. Johanna, another hero who saw a couple of changes today. Buffs to health regen, as well as a bit of a buff to Johanna's Falling Sword heroic ability. We're not going to get to see how that plays out either. Malthael picked up, Lucio picked up. So we see a really strong double support composition being pulled together by Team Sinix. They have yet to reveal their tank. That will be their final pick. Lucio and Rhaegar, really strong sustain healing. Lucio also going to help with movement speed, helping that Malthael and Greymane get in and out. Malthael saw a slight nerf in today's patch, with the passive being reduced to, I believe, 2% of max health instead of 2.25% per tick. So a little bit weaker as far as that persistent hero damage goes. A bit less of a tank killer, but only slightly. So I definitely am not too shocked to see him picked up anyway. Illusion Esports now looking to finish out their team composition. Would not be surprised to see another support. Again, I would not be shocked to see either an Oriole here. Wow, Alarak and Stukov. Okay, interesting. So the Stukov, very strong support, very good AoE healer and burst healer, kind of all in one. The healing pustule, able to keep a team alive over longer periods of time. Battlefield of Eternity, obviously a map where there's going to be a lot of kind of drawn out skirmishes. So good to have there. Obviously zone control with that lurking arm. Stukov saw a few nerfs today as far as his health goes. A couple of changes to some of his talents. But obviously nothing to drastically change priority on that hero, I don't think. The Alarak is interesting. Obviously can be very disruptive with that telekinesis, with the silence. Someone who can do a lot of damage kind of out of nowhere if you're not careful. Curious to see what the tank choice will be for Team Sinix as the clock runs out. And it's Garrosh. Now that is very interesting. I think this is probably the first game I've seen where Garrosh falls that low in a draft. I'm very used to seeing a Garrosh first ban, second ban, first pick, falling all the way down to last pick in this match is very interesting, especially given how well Illusion used that Garrosh in last night's match against Church of Bombitos. They were getting lots and lots of picks and kills. So it looks like Sinix is going to try to replicate that now against Illusion Esports. As we load into this game, I will take a very short break. We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial. And here we are in Game 1 between Team Sinix and Illusion Esports. Looking at the roster for Team Sinix, we've got Verino playing Malthael, Silver, the sub-player on Lucio, Valinar on Greymane, Sargeras, ooh, scary, on Rhaegar, and Caleb Reese playing that crazy-looking Garrosh. Over on Illusion Esports, we have Medieval on Vala, Kozer on Arthas, Unaverted on Zarya, and Defender on Stukov. Meanwhile, Alarak will be played by Exfusor. Very interested to see how this Alarak-Malthael matchup turns out, as we see the typical 1-4 split, Malthael and Exfusor going in that top lane, just hiding behind their gates to start with, making sure not to put themselves at risk, but wanting to be there for that first wave of XP. Bottom lane, looks like both teams also playing very safe, no one wanting to run too far ahead. Interesting split up here. Looks like Team Sinix just keeping an eye on things in that top jungle. Caleb Race now coming down. Taking a look at everybody. Misses the grab, but gets the throw on Averted. However, that is Zarya. Shield goes up right away. And no harm, no foul there. We see that, interestingly, Growing Infestation has been chosen by Defender. Making sure that Lurking Arm is really going to get the most value, expanding and getting extremely annoying for the other team to have that huge silence field right in the middle of the battle. Good choice on a map like this where people are going to be hanging around in the middle. I can pretty much cover an entire Immortal with that thing. Sargeras getting a bit of damage down. The silence happens down, getting very low, but manages to run away in wolf form. However, Defender perhaps got a little bit out of position putting down that Lurking Arm. Also gets away scot-free. Verino and Exfusor, excuse me, just kind of poking at each other. No one getting a big upper hand at this point just yet. Melee going around in the bottom lane. Having a look at the talents here, you've got Death's Reach, picked up by Malthael, increasing Wraith Strike's range. We've got Perfect Aim for the Greymane, going for a cocktail build, but looking away from that for a moment, Immortals have spawned. And it looks like Team Illusion is gathering around theirs, hoping to go for the defensive mode, as Team Sinix also heads towards the top. Exfusor getting a little bit zoned out, having to take the long way around, as Verino manages to stick around for that extra minion XP. Nice throw onto the Zarya. However, once again, Zarya doesn't really care too much about that. Sinix huddling around their Immortal. Illusion going to hang out with theirs. So far, not a lot of damage really done to any Immortals. Both teams playing fairly defensively. It's important to make sure that while that is happening, you're getting XP soak. Both teams keeping an eye on that. Looks like Illusion is taking this opportunity to put some pressure on those bottom forts. Exfusor, nice juke, avoiding Caleb Reese's pull there. Getting right in that sweet spot between the edge and the start of it. Alright, looks like Illusion's going to try to put some damage onto that blue Immortal. However, they're taking a quick retreat, so they got a little bit of poke on it. And that's about it. So far, they are in the lead very slightly as far as that Immortal health goes, but both teams splitting up once again for the soak. Looks like that's the first tower of the game to go down. Sinix takes first tower. Always nice to just blow up some enemy structures. Exfusor getting poked down quite a bit. 4 members now from Sinix up here to put pressure on this top lane. How will Illusion respond? Are they going to just take this chance to put some damage on the Immortal? Looks like a little bit. However, Sinix already back down here to respond. Valimar took a little bit of damage there, but nothing to worry all that much about. Silver's zoned out a little bit. Medieval gets thrown all over the place and wiped out. First blood going over to Team Sinix. Koza now looks like he might follow his teammate into the grave, and he does. Just like that, we've got our first 2 kills of the game. Sinix currently with a 5v3 advantage as they go down to put some hurt onto that demonic Immortal. They're doing quick work with this thing. Already a lot of damage down. We've got the halftime show, as it's lovingly called, already happening. As it is early in the game, both members of Illusion have respawned. However, that's currently a 1-level lead for Sinix. Looks like both teams just going to focus on the Immortals. I guess Illusion is just going to try to get as much shield damage down as they can, not trying to push Sinix off of their own Immortal. Conceding defeat there, but they did get a nice amount of damage off of it, so the shield will not be that large. Obviously, early Immortals, not a huge problem. They don't tend to get all that much done, but it will require some attention, freeing Sinix up to do a little bit more on the map while that's happening. Verino and Xfusor back up to their places in the top lane, and it's going to be a 4v4 bottom with the help of that Immortal. I think these structures are not long for this world. Caleb Reese getting a decent pull, deciding or unable to get a throw afterwards. Defender putting that silence zone right in the way, but I'm not sure how much... Oh, Kozer gets thrown behind enemy lines. However, it is Arthas. So he's... Yeah, you know what? Even though he's Arthas, he just could not get away. Really nice job by Team Sinix there. Body blocking the Arthas, not allowing him to get around them. And Defender goes down next. That's 4 kills already on the board for Team Sinix. And they've got a 1.5 level lead already. It looks like there is a reason that Team Sinix is sitting undefeated in this division. Xfusor now getting harassed by Verino right in the middle of his own base. Gets a nice silence, fairly boldly chasing him out, but Xfusor is probably going to have to retreat, as it looks like he has already tapped that well, and so it's not available for him right now. Good work by Verino chasing him out of there. Illusion going to pick up a mercenary camp of their own, as there's a blue one already heading against them bottom lane. Cocktail build for Greymane. Interesting. It looks like Garrosh has chosen the body check. So extra charge, extra slow, extra CC, extra activated ability to keep track of. Another mercenary camp picked off by Sinix. Xfusor getting chucked into the middle of the enemy team and taken down yet again. This team Sinix is relentless. They are out for blood here. And so far they're drowning in it. 5 kills on the board for Team Sinix. Mercenaries pushing top and bottom. Illusion here really starting this game off on the back foot. However, one of the great things about Heroes of the Storm, this game is not over until it's over. So even though it's looking pretty dire right now as level 10 gets picked up, and oh my goodness, Caleb Race getting another grab, another throw. Kozer goes down. Credit as well to the Lucio there for speeding up Caleb enough to get him to the enemy team to grab that grab and throw. We saw Rhaegar using the Ancestral Healing to boost up Caleb there just to make sure that nothing happened. So, extremely strong start for Team Sinix, level 10 to level 8. 6 kills to 0, already taking down that Immortal very, very quickly. Illusion is, at this point, really just going to have to hope they can grab level 10 and, catch up somehow. It's always possible, but I can't imagine they're feeling super thrilled with how this is going so far. Still, it is early. So, looks like that's going to be a pretty much 100 to 0 Immortal for Team Sinix. It's going to be joining their mercenaries in the top lane, so it's going to be a really strong push there. We'll see how far they can get with this. This is only 8 minutes into the game, but they might be going for a keep already. All members up for Illusion. They still have yet to grab that level 10, so it's going to be a very difficult defense here. Caleb Race not really even waiting for that Immortal, just deciding to get some damage done while they can, and they know they have the power advantage here. 11 to 9 already. Looks like a tower is going to go down. That Immortal has a lot of shielding and a lot of damage. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep this keep alive. However, Caleb Reese does get poked out pretty low, but he has 2 big healers on his team. He's got Lucio and Rhaegar to boost him back up. Kozer trying to get in the face of the enemy team, but he gets just thrown behind them, and that's it for Arthas. I mean, it's a good thing he's undead. What is dead can never die, perhaps? Tell that to the programmers of Heroes of the Storm. Xfusor. Oh man, Illusion is just getting chased away from their own base 9 minutes into this game. And Sinix just has complete control here. How much can they get? This Immortal is still very healthy. Looks like they're actually going to go straight in. Xfusor getting low. Stukov goes down. Defender unable to defend himself or his base. It's a 5-on-4. Immortal's still there. It looks like Sinix has decided that maybe, they don't want to push this too far, but if they can bait out Illusion enough to get more kills, double pull, Exfusor thrown into the back lines, and wiped out. Well, at least there's a kill on the board for Illusion, as the Rehgar does go down. But Unaverted is next. Okay, they get a kill onto the Garrosh. That's nice, but it's a 3v2. And Sinix is going to have to walk away. In the meantime, their core lost some health. So that's a keep down. That's a core very weak. But you know what? I mean, on the bright side, the game is still going. Illusion has not lost yet. They did manage to pick up level 10. They are, a talent tier behind at the moment, a couple levels behind, a keep behind. Certainly the momentum is far against them. But they got a couple of kills. They got a couple of kills on the board. And, that always feels good. I've got to say, this Garrosh pick is just annihilating Team Illusion. Really still quite amazed that lasted all the way until the final pick of the draft. So much mileage gotten out of that Garrosh so far. We've seen throw after throw after throw leading into kill after kill after kill. I would be very shocked to see Garrosh fall that low in the draft next game, but we never know. I gotta say, I appreciate Caleb Reese's combination of skin and mount. That motorcycle goes really well with that skin. Extremely thematically appropriate. I mean, that just looks amazing. All right, Unaverted getting pulled. However, nice lurking arm prevents any follow-up throw, as Caleb Reese was silenced. Pressuring the bottom keep now. This time Unaverted was managed to be thrown. A lot of damage went down. Exfusor getting very close to the enemy team. Telekinesis into a silence onto the Greymane, but not really enough follow-up. Looks like Kozer is really going for the chase here. Illusion trying to get something done finally. Sound barrier goes down. It's going to be very hard to hurt Sinix at that point. Kozer going down after the Vala. And it looks like Sinix is just going to wipe the floor with Illusion once again. There goes Averted. We'll see if they can pick up any more kills. Defender goes down. Exfusor is going to be next. And I think that might just be the game. Ancestral Healing goes on to Valamar to make sure he's very healthy, and they just go straight past that last keep and onto the core. That's going to be a really fast game one for Sinix, taking down Illusion in just over 12 minutes, 17 kills to 2, level 15 to level 12. Certainly Illusion is the underdog coming into this matchup. 8th place versus 1st place. Perhaps to be expected. Still, it's got to feel really good for Sinix, and there's still a game 2 to come. So with that, we will leave you for a moment, and we will come back after a short break for game 2 of this match. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Nexus Gaming Series Season 2, Division A, between Team Sinix and Illusion Esports. This is Bludgeon coming to you live with a 2-minute delay. Game 1 took place on Battlefield of Eternity. Team Sinix really wrecked Team Illusion in that game. It was a 12-minute game, something like 15 kills to 2. Fairly one-sided the whole way through. But a new game is a new game. We'll see if Illusion can bring this back. See if they can recover from that thrashing that they took in Game 1. Illusion currently sitting in 8th place in the standings. Team Sinix currently sitting in 1st with 0 losses, 7 domination victories. Illusion right now sitting at 2, 2, and 3. Looking to get a point out of this match and take Team Sinix down a peg. Last game was heavily influenced by a last pick Garrosh for Team Sinix. Very interested to see how that affects the draft this game on Sky Temple. First ban, Anubarak from Sinix. Looking at that tank pool right off the bat. Anubarak ban. Gets rid of one of the definitely annoying and versatile tanks currently in the game. A hero with a lot of mobility, a lot of CC, survivability. Just an all-around great pick. Abathur banned 2 games in a row now by Illusion. Just something they do not want Sinix to get a hold of, something they don't want to play against. Obviously, Illusion, their opinion has not changed despite the slight nerf Abathur got today, or at least the nerf to the ultimate evolution cooldown. Increased from 50 seconds to 70 seconds. Perhaps they're afraid of the damage buff that he got actually on the spines. ETC, first picked by Team Sinix. That was a ban for them last game, but this game they're deciding to go for it. Definitely a great choice on this map, as it does give you the option to go into the stage dive for global mobility. Global mobility is something that was not really looked at too much last map. Of course, Battlefield of Eternity being a smaller map, it's obviously a bit less important, but Sky Temple, much larger and a lot of spread out objectives. So global presence at more of a premium here, so we'll see if that is reflected in the draft. Dahaka, still available. Falstad, still available. Brightwing available. Brightwing was nerfed a fair bit today. But we'll see if it shows up in the draft anyway. Illusion taking their time with their first bans. And I'm curious to see... first picks. I'm curious to see what they go with here. Vala Oriole. Yeah, no surprise there. This is... Illusion is a team that picks Vala in pretty well every game that I've seen them play. Often pairing it with a support like Oriole. I'll be interested to see if Sinix bans out, let's say, a Tassadar or an Uther. But first they've got to make their picks. So they've got the ETC. Doesn't really tell us too much about their team composition so far, as it's a fairly standard pick. I'll note once again that Sinix is playing with one of their subs today. Silver subbing in for one of their main players who unfortunately was not able to make it tonight. However, Silver did a fine job playing Lucio in that last game, speeding his pal Garrosh into enemy lines, enabling a lot of grabs, a lot of picks, and definitely a lot of kills. The sound barrier also came in clutch a couple of times, so seemingly no issue there integrating Silver into the team. Okay. Cassia and Lieutenant Morales here. So Cassia, obviously someone known for dealing well with auto-attacking champions. So Illusion has shown that they're a team that loves to put a lot of their eggs in the Vala basket. Now Vala, perfectly capable of doing damage outside of auto-attacks. Hungering Arrow build has been quite popular recently. Multi-shot also deals decent damage. So Vala is certainly not useless without auto-attack damage, but it is a big part of her DPS. So Cassia able to put the blind onto Vala for one thing, preventing any auto-attack damage. as well as being just resistant naturally to auto attack damage herself while she's moving. So interesting, perhaps counter pick there. Morales coming in. So this is going to be the first game we're going to see Lieutenant Morales post changes. I wouldn't say really terribly significant changes, mostly some number adjustments as far as health regen, and a few talents goes. Morales, just a really great healer. I mean, it's super annoying to have a Morales on the enemy team in that backline, just beaming health bars all the way up. You do so much work trying to hurt people in this game, and Morales just goes, yeah, didn't happen. All right, so the Tassadar ban from Sinix, not too much of a shocker there. They probably know Illusion well enough to know that's something they would like to do. Also, it's just kind of a standard thing. Take a Vala, take an Oriole, take a Tassadar. So preventing that kind of super supported Vala situation from coming into play right now. We saw the Lucio ban against Sinix. So perhaps trying to attack Silver's champion pool. They saw him use that last game. They know he's a sub. Could be they just want to see what else he's got in the tank. Or it could be just the fact that that hero was, pretty annoying to deal with last game. So they've taken it off the table. Illusion taking their time with these champion picks. See what they end up doing here. Boop, boop, boop. Uther Johanna. Okay, so we've got the double support already. Oriole and Uther are going to be doing their best to allow Vala to get a lot of work done for the team. Johanna, strong frontline, received a couple of buffs in today's patch. Increased health regeneration, and a bit of a buff to the Falling Sword heroic ability. So I believe previously heroes were slowed by 2.5 seconds, and now they're slowed by 3 seconds. Something like that. So nothing super major. But hey, every little bit counts. So pretty strong frontline coming together for Illusion there. Johanna, obviously, really tough tank. And Uther, although a support, also a tanky one. And you can see that just by looking at him. Very strong armor. I mean, even his face has a big metal plate in front of it. So other than Morales, probably the best armored hero on either team right now. However, a lot of Morales' armor is probably fairly thin and kind of clothy, which would explain her vulnerability. Sonya and Rhaegar. Final picks for Team Sinix. Rhaegar, they used quite well in the last game. No surprise to see it come back again. And Sonya picked up this time. Interesting choice to pick that into an Uther. Uther, obviously, one of the heroes that you usually do not want to see if you are a Sonya, as you can just be stunned out of your whirlwind extremely easily. But Sinix not too concerned about it. I think they figure, you know what? Uther has that stun, but if he uses it once, then it's gone. So we'll see if Uther ends up taking the Divine Storm to have two options at that. I would probably doubt it. I imagine Divine Shield will be picked up to help that Vala out, but you never know. So, yeah. Interesting team comp from Team Sinix. Again, it's interesting. The mobility heroes, or the global mobility heroes, have once again been fairly ignored. Only one potentially is the ETC. We'll see whether or not they decide to go for the stage dive in order to have that flexibility, or if they just decide to go all in on the team fights and go with Mosh Pit. Leoric, final hero selection for Illusion Esports. So, yeah, interesting. They're really putting all their eggs into Vala once again. 2 tanks, 2 supports, and Vala. So, Medieval is going to have to do a lot of work to support his team here in terms of damage. So, we'll be right back with Game 2. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with the Nexus Gaming Series.
would prepare for your ceaseless battle. If you wish to live, that is. The temple opens in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go fight. Do whatever it is you do. The light of the sun grows within the temples. Soon they shall bask in my glory. Yes, my magic flows through the temples. Guardians, do not let these mortals approach them. My temple's power has been expended. You are stronger than I believe. Red team draws first blood.
Thank you to the chat for telling me my mic was not working. I am back. Alrighty, so level 10 picked up for Illusion Esports. Nice lead so far. They've got 2 kills to 0. Structures ahead in structures. They've got a nice job of taking this bottom temple, grabbing a mercenary. Xfuse are actually starting to take some. Wow, Illusion, are they going to try to get this boss right now? It looks like they actually might. Sinix is split up quite a bit. Sonya is top lane. Rest of the members hanging around mid lane. I don't think they know this is happening, but they're going to find out very soon. We'll see how they respond. Kozer getting right in the middle, pull on a couple of members. Caleb Reese surrounded by enemies. However, Verino now here to support on that Sonya. Xfuser getting very low. Oriole pops the stasis to save his life. Heal goes down. Health bar is getting extremely low. Medieval separated from his supports right now on the Vala. Uther has gone down. That's going to be a 5v4 right now. Medieval trying desperately to get away. Defender just following around, helping out. But that's 3 kills now from Illusion. 3 dead on the side of Illusion, and it looks like Sinix is now going to take this opportunity to get that boss that Illusion started. An unfortunate turn of events for Illusion Esports. They were really doing well. They had the lead. Perhaps they decided, you know what, if we're going to win this game, we've really got to take any chance we can get. So they went for it with the boss. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them. Lost the team fight, lost the boss, and now the XP is pretty much dead even. 11-11. Sinix now with a 1 kill advantage as well, as they grab their siege camp, and Silver is going to be there to deal with that one that went against their base. Boss, not going to get a whole lot done, but what it did is it distracted Illusion enough that Sinix is now able to get the structures in the mid lane. So the boss, in a sense, did take down a couple of structures. It just didn't take down the ones that it was directly hitting. Illusion now coming up, surrounding Kozer. Surrounding Stargaris on that medic, and Lieutenant Morales goes down quickly. Verino looks like he might follow. Medieval getting very low. Stasis goes down. Defender now dead. Medieval now dead. Oh my goodness, that's 2 very key members from Illusion out of the fight. Remaining 3 trying to get out, but a nice double power slide and a knockback. Oh boy. Xfuser is dead and unaverted, kind of just taking Sinix on a bit of a wild goose chase here, which, you know, is better than nothing. Distracts them for a few seconds. However, the temples are up top and bottom. So, things have turned a little bit out of favor for Illusion Esports. Team Sinix has taken control back of this game. Top temple controlled by Sinix. Bottom temple controlled by Sinix. We'll see whether Xfusor can chase Caleb off of here. And it looks like he can. So at least Illusion is going to take control of that bottom shrine. Kozer now going up top with Medieval and Defender to try to chase them off the top shrine. However, Verino has come in with his team, so that's going to be a 4v3 here. I think Sinix will be able to keep control of that shrine. Looking at the structural map here, Illusion now down to just their inner structures, their keeps, their keep walls. Sinix going to be down to just about the same here as the bottom laser takes its last few hits at that. And Xfusor, wow, good job staying alive there. Lost a lot of health, but kept that temple going for his team. All right, taking a look at the talents. We've got Wrath of the Berserker picked up for Sonya. Stim Drone on Morales. Ancestral Healing for Rhaegar. Mosh Pit on that ETC, so deciding not to go for the global. Ball Lightning on Cassia, what a great ultimate. Blessed Shield for Johanna, so does not care about that slight buff that the other ultimate received today. Crystal Aegis, obviously on Aegis, or on Oriole. Rain of Vengeance on Vala. Divine Storm for Uther, interesting. And the Entomb for Leoric. Alright, everyone congregating now around this top lane for the moment. Silver all by himself bottom lane, getting a nice XP soak and push for his team. Team Illusion sticking together in the top lane right now. Clearing out some waves, readying the lane for their own mercenary camp and minions to get a nice push going. Right now, really no big objectives on the field. No temples active. Boss isn't going to be back up for another minute and a half, so each team just kind of taking this opportunity, go around the horn, pick up whatever mercenaries they can, clean out waves when they have the chance. And, at the moment, this game really is still fairly close. Level in a bit advantage for Team Sinix, but currently they are on even talent tiers. That's not going to last too long. As level 16 is picked up for Team Sinix just in time for this temple phase. Nice timing there. They've got their talents picked up. And that's going to make things just a little bit harder for Illusion. And it looks like all 5 members of Sinix are hovering around this middle. I think they want to fight here. They're hoping that Team Illusion is going to show up to take a peek at this, and just like that, it looks like they will. Valimar getting some decent poke onto Uther. I'm curious to see if anyone goes up to that top lane. Team Sinix controlling this zone for the moment, grabbing that vision, temporarily ceding control of that temple to Exfusor, but very quickly taking it back again. The lasers are starting to shoot at the base of Team Illusion. That gate's going to be going down fairly soon. Exfusor grabbing the vision for his team. Silver and Exfusor just kind of whacking at each other, but Silver actually getting the better end of that trade. And it looks like Illusion is just going to kind of give up on that, and they're going to go take that top one while they have the opportunity to try to just kind of keep things relatively even, or are they? I thought they were, but it looks like no. Exfusor, Wraith walking away. Kozer, unfortunately, has been separated from his team. Good thing it's the Johanna, so not a big deal. Manages to get back in the mix of things. Caleb getting a nice double power slide and knockback. Exfusor and Johanna both getting low. Those are the tanks in the front line for that team, but it looks like they just can't quite stand up to what Sinix is doing to them. So Oriel and Uther are doing their best to keep their team alive, but Illusion has to back off. So they lost control of the middle temple. That was taken by Sinix, and it looks like the top one also going to go over to Team Sinix. Illusion going to try to make a rotation play here, looks like, and go towards the boss or maybe get a pick, but it's not going to work because all 4 members other than Rhaegar are here. So, I mean, it's 5v4 potentially, but I don't think that's going to work. Oh, unaverted, walking right into a death brush. And I don't know if that Uther is going to get away. Boss getting some nice poke damage down onto Kozer as well. Alright, so Uther survived. However, while all this is going on, Silver is just sitting up here getting those nice laser shots. And that's going to be the top keep going down. First keep down on the side of Illusion is going to make things a lot more difficult for them. And that's a nice pressure advantage going forward in this game for Team Sinix. Exfusor getting in the middle of things. That boss is starting to get low, but both teams kind of taking damage from it. Both teams dealing damage to it. It's going to be an interesting battle to see who can control that point, but I have a feeling it's going to be Team Sinix, as Illusion also has that feeling, and they walk away. Alright, so it's level 18 to level 16 at the moment. There is a mercenary camp pushing bottom for Illusion, however, Verino is here to make quick work of that. And it looks like Team Sinix is going to try to get some pressure onto this bottom base, as they do have the boss with them. Illusion now just going to try to hold off and defend. Decent damage onto that boss. Kozer going a little forward, but not to worry. Boss now down to about half health, as Verino coming to join the team, so that's going to help things out quite a bit. Caleb Reese taking some decent damage, but it's very quickly healed up by Sargeras. Front wall now down. Manuel now down. Keep starting to take a lot of damage. There goes the Divine Storm from Uther, but not really any kind of decent follow-up. Kozer unable to really get into the enemy team. Exfusor having to Wraith walk away. Unaverted getting very low now. We see that lightning ball from Cassia just bouncing all over the enemy team. Low health bars all around. Vala finally goes down. I gotta think that's going to be probably the end. Vala dead. Oh boy, everybody dead except Johanna. So, just like that, Team Sinix maintains their undefeated streak in Division A, taking a very clean 2-0 victory over Team Illusion. Game 1 definitely was more of a stomp. Illusion actually was had the upper hand for a good portion of this game. But one perhaps missed call or risky call going for that boss earlier on in the game switched the momentum over to Sinix, and from that point forward, Illusion just could not really get back into it. So well played from Team Sinix, well played from Team Illusion as well, putting up a really decent fight there. So that is your match for tonight. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to see if I can get an interview with one of the members of Team Sinix. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Too bad. Just glad we were able to come out of that with a win.
Yeah, really well played. So obviously game 1 and game 2 had sort of a different feel. I mean, how did you guys feel after that stomping in game 1?
We were pretty confident. We felt like we outdrafted them. We kind of they didn't really respond with any answers. The Mafia Lucia was able to kind of just do what it wanted to, and with the Garrosh last pick, we knew they were trying to go for an early. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
we
right.
knew they were going for an early siege with the Zarya, with the Vala. They wanted to win an the early game. That's tends to be what you do with the Zarya. The second we saw that kind of comp, we're like, okay, we need to play something that stalls them early, because we can win later with the Mafia, with the Lucia, and so that we took the Garrosh, and it worked out marvelously.
Yeah, I've got to say, I was pretty surprised to see Garrosh fall that low in the draft. It seemed just about every match I've seen so far, it's been either a very early ban, very early pick. What do you make of that?
We don't tend to prioritize Garrosh that highly. We weren't super surprised to see it drop so far. We usually view the top tanks as something like ETC, it's ETC and then everyone else, basically. So when we saw the Garrosh low, it's like, it's just a situational pick. They weren't going to pick it. We had Mateo. It works out.
Right, and just for viewers watching here, I'm talking to Verino, team captain for Team Sinix, who just had a really great 2-0 victory versus Illusion. So let's talk a little bit about Game 2, because Game 2, Illusion kind of had the upper hand for a good part of that game.
Yeah, we made some mistakes early. We didn't expect, or we were expecting to win a little harder early with our comp. We had Cassia, who's pretty good in Davala. We had Medic, who could keep up the Ariel. But we had some miscommunications in terms of what we wanted to do, and we were able to luckily pull it back. But they played really well early.
Yeah, so tonight you were playing with one of your substitute players, Silver. How did that affect your communication in the games?
Well, Silver's played with us quite a bit. He's mainly a support player, which is why we play double support both games. When we have Treebeard, we usually kind of play different comps, but it's not a big deal. We've played with him probably just a little less than Treebeard, so it didn't affect the dynamic a ton.
Right on. So with this victory, you're now sitting at 8-0-0, standing high atop the standings in Division A. What do you attribute your success to?
A lot of it comes down to, I think, we have a lot more games under our belts compared to a lot of the other teams. Aside from 2+2, who we haven't played yet, a lot of these teams are either kind of new or are not. They don't have a ton of experience. I have a lot of respect for the people in this league. We all play, we all do our own thing. I think the big thing is that I think we have more competitive experience. We play against teams like Legion, who has Daihu, and that roster we played against Heroes Hearth, we played against Flame Lame. A lot of it just comes down to, I think we play more games as a 5.
Right on. How long has your team been together?
A couple months now, which says a lot. And the Heroes Esports.
Yeah,
teams tend to
definitely.
fall all the time.
A lot of the teams in
So-
Division A, just came together at the start of the season. Maybe some of the players played together, some of them didn't. So definitely that is an advantage, having that kind of comfort with the rest of your team.
Yeah, and we've had roster shuffles throughout our time of existence. We had 2 players a couple months ago leave, and we kind of had a shift of dynamic ever since. But we've had the same 3 core: myself, Kale, Brees, and Valimar. We played together for quite a bit now, and it's worked out.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the interview, Verino. Congratulations on yet another 2-0, and best of luck going forward.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
All right. Good night. So with that, we will conclude our broadcast for the evening. You've been watching Nexus Gaming Series. I am Bludgeon, and we'll see you next time. Good night.